the subnet akan pakai the main routing table. Faham? So that's why that is the usage of main routing table. Okay? Right? So remember that your subnet have to associate. Kalau tak, dia akan pakai the main one, main routing table. So best practice kita use custom lah, route table. And this is the public subnet. This one we already know. Public subnet will include the routing table entry in the internet gateway, for you to support inbound and outbound access. Right? And private subnet, they do not have a routing table entry to the internet gateway, and are not directly accessed from the public internet. Okay, so that's why you can see the public subnet. Okay, and this. The keyword is public subnet route table need to have a internet gateway. Let me show you right in my VPC. I should have created the lab VPC. Go to the VPC. Just a quick one. Go to the route table. Go to the main route table. You can see I got so many VPC so that's why you have to check. The one I'm going to show you is the lab VPC. So you see, you can expand this a bit. Let me smaller this a bit. How you know? You got so many route table, right? So you have to look at your VPC name. VPC name at this side. So I'm going to show you the lab VPC. So you see the lab VPC, this one, and this one. You see the main, they will label main one. In this column, this is the main routing table. Right? They will have this auto created for us. So right, the subnet that associate with any routing table, they can automatically associate to this one. So you look at the first one. This one is what? You see this is for the VPN subnet. You see, I put it VPN for the VPN one, and this one is for the public route table. Let me show you the public one. The third row. Let's click this one route table. There you akan nampak. Right there, I got this internet gateway IGW. Okay. IGW stand for is the internet gateway. This is the ID for the internet gateway. It always start with IGW1, and the status must show active. That's why you see I forward to kosong. Okay, right. So then you can see that for the next one for the private, and I already associated the two subnet 10.0.0 and 10.02 is my public subnet, because I associate to the public route table. Okay, then let me show you another route table. Let's go back to the route table. So let me show you the private subnet route table for my lab with PC. This one kan? This one. Private subnet. This one is a name. You can customize one. I customize to make it easier. Private subnet RT route table. So you click here, go inside there. You akan nampak. Right. So this is local this is the CIDR block memang is other, it's inside there punya. Okay, tapi you go to the subnet association, you see I dah associate what? Correct. I dah associate the odd number one. Odd number, the third digit odd number is my private subnet. Okay, tapi this one I didn't create the internet gateway net gateway, right? Because net gateway is what? No free tier. Please remember that. Okay, right? When you create a net gateway, how you create a net gateway? Very simple. You go to net internet gateway. Let me show you how to create internet gateway. Let's say you want to create internet gateway. You create action, create internet gateway, give a name. Let's show you first. That's IG internet gateway. That is optional. Then you just create. Created already. Green color means already created. Let's go to the internet gateway. You akan nampak it's detached. Because you can attach to the VPC. So you have to attach to a VPC. You attach. Let's say you want to have test peering VPC contoh. This internet gateway is high ability. So please take note. You tak boleh attach to more than one VPC one. Because they will ensure high ability one. Because they come with multiple endpoint. Kalau they will have backup one. This is auto handled by AWS. So when you attach the time, you can see they can show attach. Okay, and if you don't need to, after that you have to go to the route table and associate associate to the public subnet route table. point to kosong kosong kosong, like what I show you tadi, kan? So if you don't want to use already, you just what? Delete lah. Okay, right? You have to detach from the VPC first, detach. Okay, then after that you delete lah. Delete internet gateway. So you must confirm lah, type delete. Okay. So right, and you can see now sekarang tadi now let me show you. I haven't created a net gateway, but I'm going to show you for my EC2. Ada dua EC2 ada satu EC2 I'm inside the public subnet. Okay, this EC2 is inside my public subnet. Okay, so I'm going to I got another EC2 that is in the private subnet. Let me show you here. I'm going to boot up and I'm going to access this EC2 lah. Later I'll show you how to access. Let me boot up first. I'm going to boot up. So you see, I haven't got anything yet lah. Let me show you. I'm going to start. Okay. Meanwhile, starting, let me later I'll show you how. This internet gateway I also discussed with you already. But before that, I want to explain about the net gateway. Net gateway basically it is per AZ. It's different. Okay. Right? If it is per AZ, it's not tied to the whole region. So let's say you create a net gateway, then it's in AZA. Then if you want to have redundancy in AZB, you can create another net gateway. So net gateway is not free tier. That means kalau you just create, you tak pakai, they also will charge you. They also will charge you one. So be careful when you test this. And internet gateways allow communication between EC2 in your VPC and the internet are horizontally scaled, redundant and highly available by default. That means you don't need to worry. Well, my internet gateway down. AWS will handle for you. Will take care of the resiliency for you. Okay, at the background. So it provides a target in your subnet route table for internet routable traffic. Contoh, you can see here I ada satu EC2 in the public subnet. Kenapa I say this is the public subnet? Sebab I associated this subnet in the public route table, whereby this route table ada, yes, the default route pointing to IGW, which is the internet gateway. That's why we call this is a public subnet. They must put inside a route table whereby got association with internet gateway. Whereby net gateway is different. Net gateway is for your private subnet EC2 or any other resource or database in the private subnet to initiate. The keyword is to initiate traffic outbound to the internet to other AWS services. Okay, right, to other AWS services. So this will prevent private EC2 from receiving incoming traffic from the internet. So right, that's why please take note. Now, contoh, you can see now we have a net gateway. When you create a net gateway, you must put it inside the public subnet one. Okay. Alright, please take note. You have to put it. Kenapa? Sebab you see they need to go out via the internet gateway. That's why you must put it inside the public subnet route table whereby it has access to the internet gateway. And you need an elastic IP. Remember what you call by elastic IP? Elastic IP basically means it's a public IP. Tapi you boleh associate, you boleh tukar the association dari satu EC2 atau satu service to another service. That's why they call it elastic. Elastic. Okay. So then, kalau you ada net gateway, so this EC2 at the bottom one is private subnet EC2. Then, kenapa we say this is a private subnet EC2? Sebab dia tak ada internet gateway. So for let's say sekarang kita nak buat patching. Okay. Kita nak buat patching, kita kena apa? Yes, this user here kena correct. Kalau you nak buat patching, let's say this user got the patching they are the server. So in this case, you can initiate the traffic must go through the net gateway. That's why you can have this route 000 pointing to the net gateway. Okay, for the private subnet EC2 to initiate traffic out. Okay, so tapi for the traffic to come in, okay. you see, let's say you are, right? Let's say I got the EC2 here, another EC2, right? In a public subnet. For this public subnet EC2 to ping to access the private subnet EC2, dia tak perlu go through the net gateway. Let me show you this one. Tadi I show you kan, in my route table, I don't have a net gateway. Remember? I don't have a net gateway yet. In my private subnet route table, I tak create a net gateway. So now I'm going to access. You can see this first EC2 is a public subnet one. You see, that's why that I have enabled to get a public IP. This is the Apache web server which I show you first day. Then the second row is the private subnet EC2. You see there, because private subnet they cannot directly access one. Correct or not? Right? So there's no public IP. Okay? There's no public IP. Tapi there's a private IP lah. Look at the private IP. Let me show you. They will, you see, they will get a private IP and private DNS. So this IP 10.03.144. Let me copy this IP. Now I'm going to go to the EC2 of the public subnet EC2. First one. Okay? So how I'm going to access? Of course, you just click connect. You ada berapa cara lah, right? To connect to the remote access this EC2. Satu cara, you use the EC2 Instant Connect. This EC2 Instant Connect is based on your IAM user. It's based on your IAM user to connect one. And the other way is using the session manager. This session manager basically is allow you to connect without SSH key or the Bayesian host. When you connect this session manager, you are using a default user. We call this SSM user. Okay? So this service, in order to use this session manager, you need to associate the role in the EC2. This one I will talk about chapter 7 later. I'll show you. Okay? So how this can be done? So I will use this method to access lah. Senang lah. Tak payah specify the host key. All this. Okay. Then of course you got the SSH client. This one you can pakai putih. Okay. Then you got another one EC2 serial console. Okay. Right. So tapi this one kalau you nak connect, you must have a specific instant type one based on the AWS Nitro system. So I don't have lah. I'm not using this one. So I'm using the session manager. Okay. Later I'll show you how to enable session manager. Right, in the next later chapter. But now I will just show how I can connect directly. See, I tak payah SSH key punya. I tak payah run the putih client. You see, I dah masuk already. So I just show you the ID. You see the ID or not? Boleh nampak? SSM user. They are using a default user ID. This one I tak payah configure also. This user ID. Dia akan pakai this user ID. So I will use the root sudo su promote to root, and I'm going to ping. Masih ingat tadi I punya private IP address? You see the ping is successful. Nampak? Everyone, correct or not? Yes. The ping is successful. Okay? So you see, I don't have a net gateway. Tadi you see in my private route table kan, I tak ada net gateway. Tapi from public subnet EC2, I boleh access. Coming in, I don't need net gateway. Understand? Okay? From public subnet EC2 to private subnet EC2, I don't need to. We will just use the route table to route. So please take note. So of course, my security group on this EC2, I need to allow ICMP lah. Later I'll show you after I disallow, I cannot ping already. I will show you when we come to the security chapter. Now, next one. Let's move on to this more thing to. So to create the net gateway, basically very simple. You can just let me show you if you want to create a net gateway, but I'm not going to use the net gateway lah. Okay, I will just show you how to create. Because net gateway is so you can see, you go to the net gateway here, then you click create. Give a name of test net. So you see, you need to specify. You must put the subnet as what? Remember, public subnet. You must choose a public subnet one. If not, it will not work. And you need to specify elastic IP. Faham? Kalau you tak specify, remember this is a public IP. Okay? Right? This public IP you cannot allocate one by default one. You gonna go to kalau you tak allocate, you will not get. Okay, remember later I'll show you you can allocate here on the spot. Okay, then you go to here, click allocate. By default, every region you can allocate satu you will get 5 IP lah, 5 elastic IP. Okay, so kalau you nak more than that, you can create a case to increase this. So then after that, you create a net gateway right? You create a net gateway. You click create net gateway, then they will create then they will show you the net. The prefix ID start with net something one. Okay, right? Then after that you have to remember to delete this okay, I'm going to delete that. Then it will show you net something. So after that, once it's become active already, you have to go to your private subnet route table and associate this 000 route with this net gateway. But I'm not going to associate I will delete already because this one, remember, is not what? Correct not? It's not secure. Okay, next, let's move on to the slide. So the subnet use case over here can be based on data store instances. Okay, can be used on this batch processing. So let's say you got this data store instances. Where should you put this? Look at here. Of course, data store instance, private subnet because data store most of the time is B and C batch processing, of course, also should be private subnet. Backend, as the name indicating, backend means no direct access should be private. Tapi web can be public or can be private. Because you might have some web server only meant for your intranet. Correct enough. Subnet recommendation: consider larger subnet over smaller one. Okay, /24 and larger. Okay, so kenapa? Sebab because kalau you sudah pakai semua IP dalam that subnet, then you tak boleh there's no when you want to launch new EC2, you will not get the IP for that subnet already. Correct or not? So that's why it's always use the larger subnet. Simplify workload placement. Choosing where to place a workload among 10 small subnet is more complicated with one large subnet. This is human behavior Sebab when you have more choices definitely it's difficult to choose compared to you have less choices. Okay, less likely to waste or run out of IP, of course because kalau your subnet you use smaller one, then you will easily run out. Then you cannot add more to that existing subnet already. You gonna create another subnet. Okay, so if you are unsure of the best way to set up your subnet, start with one public and one private subnet per AZ. That is same like the lab In this case, kita ada 2 AZ. Right? Satu AZ, kita ada 2 subnet. Okay? And most architecture have significant more private resources than public resources. So allocate substantially more IP for private subnet than for the public subnet. So you can see in this case right? There, contoh, you can see public subnet kita pakai /24. Okay, right? Tapi for the private subnet, this one kita pakai /23. Same thing for this public subnet. Kenapa? Why this one kita tak nak pakai /24? Very simple. The reason sebab kita definitely will have more application or more hosts, more EC2 will be residing in private subnet. So you use /23, you can accommodate more EC2, more apps instances than /24. Okay. Then this one kita pun dah cover. Remember or not? ENI. Remember? ENI, Elastic Network Interface Card. This is a virtual NIC card. Still remember or not? When you create true or false, when you create the EC2, dia akan come with satu ENI. Betul atau salah? They will come with satu ENI. True or false? Betul. Correct or not? They will come with satu ENI. Can you tambah more than one ENI? Can you tambah? Let's say satu EC2 you can want to have 2 ENI atau 3 ENI. Boleh atau tak boleh? Boleh. Correct or not? You see, because like semalam I show you already kalau kita nak tukar the subnet, kita tak boleh tukar already when it's launched already. Correct or not? Kita kena apa? Kita kena detach the ENI and create a new ENI with a different subnet. Okay, then baru kita boleh tukar. Tapi I want to highlight to you, for the root one, for the primary ENI, you tak boleh detach. It's a primary one, they don't allow you to detach. You boleh detach the secondary and tertiary. Let's say you create and you attach, tapi you boleh detach tapi for root tak boleh. So you see, when you move to an EC2 instance, a network interface, when your ENI, let's say you move dari satu EC2 ke another EC2, dia akan maintain its private IP, elastic IP. Okay, you boleh apply elastic IP to the one, to this ENI one, correct not? Okay, and the MAC address. Okay, and the MAC address. So remember, this is the concept of ENI. Okay, and we also show you already lah semalam. Dalam satu ENI, you boleh apply more than satu private IP, correct not? You boleh apply multiple private IP one, secondary IP we call that. Okay, on the same ENI. So and let me show you the elastic IP lah. Just recap, elastic IP. ENI. We go to the here, under the VPC, under VPC, you go to elastic IP here at the left hand side. You can see, satu, as I told you, satu region, contoh Singapore, you boleh request berapa? 5 ENI, okay? 5 elastic IP. And let's say this elastic IP, you see, they will tell you you tak ada associate, okay? Kalau ada associate, they will tell you it's associated. Kalau tak ada associated, they will tell you like that dash okay? So you boleh associate lah. You kena allocate first. You see contoh, let's say I allocate. Let's say the other two I already pakai lah. I nak allocate, I kena request. Okay, right. So then that is optional. The rest all optional lah. Just allocate. Then you see they akan show you. Now sekarang you ada. I got 3 already. A minute. You can see I got 3. Okay? I have 3. Nampak? I got 3 already. Nampak not? So now I'm going to show you how to associate. There, you can action, right? Associate the elastic IP. You see? Then you boleh associate to the network interface card. You can associate to EC2, atau you boleh, as per the slide, associate to a network interface card. Then you choose your interface card. You choose your interface card. You can see the private IP which you want to associate one. Right? You boleh choose. Okay. So because this ENI basically this ENI when we configure the time we will specify the subnet already, private IP subnet. Okay. So they will you can set what is the IP, private IP, and after that you can associate faham? You boleh associate. So I don't want to associate but I just want to highlight to you, kalau you tak associate you just leave like that okay, and they will charge you. They will have a small charge per hour because you request already. This is a public IP. Public IP nowadays kita tak cukup, correct not? So kalau you request tapi you tak pakai, they will charge you. Please take note. Okay? So remember, kalau you tak pakai, remember to delete it. So I'm going to delete lah. Tapi kalau you associated to a EC2, tapi the EC2 is stopped, it's not running, they also will charge you for that elastic IP. So you gonna, in this case, how you going to release back to AWS? There, you just click this release. Okay, then you will release. Okay, so remember this is the concept for the elastic IP that you can associate to the elastic network interface card. So why you want to have more than one ENI? Why satu ENI tak cukup? Because you might want to have a different network connecting to your EC2. Contoh, one for management network, or atau you want to run those software on those virtual router software, virtual firewall, software appliance on your EC2, and all those networking devices, they ada banyak interfaces. So each interfaces you need a different subnet. Or atau you create dual home instances with with workload or row on the distinct subnet dual home lah, they can connect to two different type of network lah, dual home. So that is the use case lah. So elastic IP, this one I mentioned it lah, correct not? I'm not going to go through this. Tadi I just show you, correct not? Can be associated to EC2 or NIC card. You can reassociate and direct the traffic immediately. Lima, okay? Or you can bring your own IP. Let's say you already got the public IP dari itu provider, you boleh, correct, you boleh use in AWS. Okay? Can be associated with an EC2 or network interface card. This one I show you in my console kan. And able to reassociate and direct traffic. You associate to this EC2, after that you can associate to another EC2 one. You boleh tukar. That's why they call it elastic. 5 allowable per region. So in this example, kita nak buat, in this case, kita want to do this like this is the main server. This is a hot backup. They are providing the same service to all these clients. So in this case, kita boleh, correct not? Kita boleh use the elastic IP loh. Kalau let's say when both server are up, the user akan access to this main server. Tapi kalau the server is down, correct not? The elastic IP can be served by this hot backup. Okay? So that is this elastic IP lah. Any questions, everyone? So far, okay? Is there any question?
Yang elastic IP.
Sorry. I tak dengar. Boleh repeat your question?
Elastic IP tadi.
Yes. Which one?
Hello.
Yes.
Elastic IP tadi dia akan permanent lah kan selagi kita tak release
Yes, correct. So it's different. This is different, correct. Good question. You see, this is different from the, just want to show you in my console. You see, tadi, when I launched the EC2, you see, those public IP I get one, I didn't pakai the elastic IP. So those IP is not permanent, understand? Those public IP, this public IP, the one, bukan elastic IP punya, is not permanent punya. That means when I stop and restart the EC2, dia akan bagi I satu different public IP already. Faham? Tapi elastic IP, when you stop and start, sama aja. Okay? Alright. Yes. Did I answer your question? Okay? Faham?
Ya, okay. Dia nak confirm. So, DNS entry kita akan guna yang ni lah kan? Patutnya kita akan kena subscribe elastic IP lah untuk permanent punya ni.
Yes. Kalau you tak subscribe, the public IP is not permanent. Betul. Okay. So, next, let's move on to the, this one kita dah cover. Okay. Security group kita pun dah cover lah. Correct not? Security group, this one is a firewall rules you boleh configure to protect your EC2. Correct not? Traffic can be restricted by IP, protocol, port, IP address. Contoh, SSH, HTTP, HTTPS. Correct not? MySQL port, database port, all these you specify lah. And rules are stateful. Stateful basically means kalau you sudah because the security group dia ada inbound rules and outbound rules. Inbound means masuk EC2, dia akan go through. Outbound means you traffic keluar dari EC2, dia akan go through. So stateful means dia akan auto permit the return traffic. Okay? That means kalau you dah permit SSH for the inbound, you tak payah configure the outbound rules to permit SSH. It's automatic permit. That is called stateful. So contoh, this is the security group. Sekarang kita ada satu by default. You see, kalau you tak tukar the security group, when you launch the EC2 by default, you can see dia akan block all inbound traffic punya by default security group. So means anybody, no device can access your EC2. So you kena tukar, you cannot use the default one. Tapi outbound dia akan allow. Okay, outbound dia akan allow. Inbound tak boleh masuk. Okay. And when you configure the security group, okay, you will configure the same group for the same tier. Contoh, you see now sekarang kita ada this functional tier. This is the app server, right? They are providing the same service. So kita boleh configure these two EC2 with the same security group. Right now, So it's not one security group, one EC2. No, one security group boleh pakai by many EC2. So for this database, kita akan configure a different security group because this one kita kena allow the database ports kan. Contoh MySQL is port number 3306. Okay. And when you configure the security group, you boleh buat this chaining. Security chaining. Okay. Security chaining basically means contoh you can see sekarang kita ada 3 tier. First one, front at the front kita ada itu web tier, web server. Then middle kita ada application server. And the last one kita ada database server. So you can see when you access the traffic, right? Inbound rules dia akan permit sebab this is a web server. Let's say kita hanya allow HTTPS lah. So we will set what is the source. Okay? Kita tak boleh set destination one. Destination is the EC2 IP mah tak payah set. Okay? Tapi for the web server to launch API to access the application, here you can see now we want to allow port 80 HTTP. Tapi the source kita tak payah set the source IP of the web server. Kita boleh set just based on the source, the web tier, the security group name of the web tier. Just like that. Then AWS will know actually your source IP you want to allow is dari web tier punya. Same goes for the database tier. Okay, so you see the security group here. Now we want to allow the access the API dari app tier. So kita specify the allow port 3306. This is my SQL port. And the source here, you see app tier. Kita hanya perlu apa? Kita the security group, kita tak payah specify source IP. Kita hanya specify the source, the security group for app tier sahaja. So let me show you how this can be done in the console. So you see when you go to the, you create, you can, when you launch your EC2 kan, correct tak? Atau you boleh go to here and create a security group. Okay, you go to the VPC. It's under the here security group. So you boleh create a security group here on the spot. Then later when you launch, you boleh specify this security group. So you see, let's say I do test. Then description is optional. You need to specify which VPC. Let's say I use lab VPC. And now I want to add the inbound rules. You see that's why when you don't add anything by default is what? I just want to show you. Correct not? By default tak ada punya. Don't allow anything. Tapi outbound dia ada allow all. Kosong. Correct not? All traffic. Tapi inbound tak allow by default. So you see when you add then you can set, let's say I want to allow HTTP lah tadi HTTP. So you can set the source. This one is a source IP. Right? You see, you don't have action to specify. Is the allow or deny. Whatever you specify will be allowed. Whatever you don't specify is denied. So there you specify. You boleh specify based on the IP. Atau you just put SG security group. Dari which security group? Like that. Then they will list the security group for you to choose. So let's say I want to allow this one is dari itu web server punya kan. Right, this is the web server security group contoh. There in this case just like that lah. So ada dua cara lah to specify the source. Either you specify the IP atau you specify the source security group. And there's another firewall rules. Okay, this is called network access list. These firewall rules will be applied on the subnet. Tadi kita punya security group is applied on where? Apply on RDS, apply on EC2, all this. Tapi this one is applied on the subnet layer. So it's a firewall rules. There also other inbound and outbound rules. Tapi by default they will allow outbound and inbound one by default. Okay, and it is stateless. So stateless means kalau dia permit the inbound already, outbound tak automatically permit one. You kena specify manually to permit the outbound juga. So this is different from security group tadi lah. So contoh you can see here, sekarang kita ada satu network access list. Right? This is just an ID auto generated. And now you see look at the rules. Okay, the rules when you configure the rules, inbound you can have multiple rules. Sekarang kita ada dua rules. Outbound you also can have multiple rules. Okay, And the rules you boleh specify satu rule number. So the rule number is important. Sekarang here they show you 100. The rule number yang you specify, dia akan it's a top-down design. Top-down design basically means when the traffic enter your subnet, the network access list akan baca the rule number with the smaller value one. Okay, kalau they match that rule number, dia akan exit already. They will not go and read the second rule number. That's why the rule number order is important. Right? Remember. So this is different from this security group. Security group, you tak payah specify the rule number. The security group, when the traffic enter your EC2, dia akan check semua rule in the security group. Tapi this one is different. Dia akan check one by one. And you boleh specify another difference that you boleh specify allow or deny. Okay, you boleh specify whether it's allowed or deny. Okay, so remember that is the network ACL. And kalau you permit the inbound, let's say contoh you permit inbound, your outbound is not auto permit one. That's why we call stateless. You kena in this case, that's why kita have this allowed port number. This is a unreserved port number to allow all the return traffic. You can specify port number ranging from 1024 to 65535. It means this is to any return traffic punya port number will be allowed. There is this deny statement is implicit punya. Kita tak, is by default is there one. Kita tak payah configure. Okay, right. So let me show you this slide. Then after that, I'll show you the network access list. Because this slide is trying to tell you when your traffic enter. Okay. You see, when your traffic enter dari outside to your EC2, dia akan first go through the internet gateway, route table, then dia akan go through your network access list. Nampak tak? Dia akan go through, this is a network ACL. Then after that, they are, because dia akan hit your subnet so, kalau your network ACL permit the traffic, then they will have to check another rules, which is the SG security group. So both firewall kena permit the traffic, baru you boleh access your EC2. So same goes for the return traffic. Return traffic for security group is auto permit lah. Return traffic because it's stateful mah. Kalau you permit inbound already, outbound is auto permit. Tapi after that, when they hit your subnet, again, dia kena check dia kena check the network accesses again. Right? So then route by the route table to the internet gateway, then baru boleh reach out. Okay, so that's why as a conclusion, they will go through dual layer. Faham? Dual layer of the firewall rules. Everyone get that? Are you clear? So let me show you now. Let me show you this network ACL I dah configure already. So you see, firstly, tadi I show you I can ping kan dari I punya public subnet EC2 to the private subnet EC2 I boleh ping kan tak? So I'm going to show you this public subnet EC2. I'm going to ping dari I punya home, dari I punya this laptop to the public subnet EC2 lah. Okay, so you see this one is a public subnet EC2. This is a web server lah. They got the public IP one, the first one. Nampak tak? Public DNS, public IP. Okay, so I'm going to okay. Now you look at here. Look at the security group. Okay, look at the security group. So there I permit. You see or not? I permit the all traffic lah. I permit permit TCP 80 is port. 80 is the correct or not? HTTP. Then after that I also permit all traffic lah. Right. Then that is for the inbound rules. And outbound rules also can see from here. So right. Next one, let me show you the network access list, because we say they cannot go through kind of dual firewall rules kan. Baru dia boleh access my EC2. Baru I boleh ping this EC2. So now I'm going to show you the network access list. So it's under the VPC. I dah configure already lah. I just show you right. So there my network access list. Let's look at the network access list. So you see my network access list. This is the one I dah configure, and I have to you configure. Then after that you must activate to the subnet. Understand? you must apply to activate on the subnet. Okay, so you can see on my inbound rules for the network access list. Okay, I apply on the subnet, public subnet punya. I allow the ICMP, allow HTTP, allow RDP, all this. Also, you boleh set allow or deny. Tapi the last statement is always deny one. Nampak tak? Right, last one as I told you. Same goes for the outbound rules. There's a last statement which is deny one. Kita tak payah configure punya. Okay, it's always there punya. And the rule number as I told you already rule number is very important sebab dia akan determine your order. Yang lebih rendah punya rule number dia akan baca dulu. Okay, so now you look at here. I'm going to ping dari I punya laptop and see whether I boleh ping this web server or not. Okay, so let's go to here. Let's choose this IP. Copy this IP, public IP. Just copy. Actually, go inside and copy easier. Okay, public. Not this one, sorry. Oh, yeah, bawah tu. Okay. Okay, copy the public IP, double box. So I'm going to ping from my laptop CMD. Ping people ping on. Boleh ping kan? Okay, so now I'm going to block the ICMP. Ping is under ICMP, you can see. So I go to my network access list with PC. I'm going to tukar because tadi my first rule is to allow ping kan. So I'm going to block the ping. Let me show you. Network access list. My security will also allow ping allow all traffic So now I'm going to go to my this inbound rules. I'm going to edit in my network access list. I can tukar edit inbound rules. So the first rule I can tukar ICMP is the ping allow. See, I can tukar block, tukar ke deny. Okay, then I save. Okay, save. So now let's try. You can see, let's try I can ping or not. Of course cannot you can see double A ping lagi. Kan not? Because the network access list is blocking. Network access list is the first level when you masuk. Okay, so just to show you this very simple demo. So now let's go to the slide. Kita dah last slide already. Finish already. Come. Knowledge check. Okay, knowledge check. Okay, where are VPC deployed? Come. Anybody? Siapa tahu?
Region.
Betul. First one. Security group allow all traffic in by default. You must set rules to specifically block unwanted traffic. True or false? Tadi I show you in my console kan. By default, you see when I create a new one, inbound ada ke? Ada rules tak? Tak ada. Kan? False. They don't allow rules by default one. Okay? So later you buat lab 3 Lab 3 kita akan create a virtual private cloud. Kita akan create this VPC peering and kita akan test pakai itu EC2 and RDS Okay? So right in the lab you akan create internet gateway, a public subnet, a private subnet, a route table for each subnet. Okay? Then you test the public subnet by launching an app server and connecting to it Okay? So then after that optional challenge, you will create a VPC peering connection. Okay, this VPC peering connection is for you to interconnect to VPC. Right? Contoh sekarang, right? Contoh sekarang you ada dua VPC in the lab. Left hand side the VPC is called lab VPC. Right hand side VPC is a share VPC. Sekarang you nak the app server to communicate with the database server. Okay? And the different VPC. So you boleh configure this VPC peering. When you do this VPC peering, later we will talk about that. There's one chapter, right? In the next module 6, is go through the internet one. It's not going through the internet. This VPC peering, you see, they are not going through the internet gateway because it's not going through the internet, right? And the connection is established using the what? AWS backbone. So you are using the private IP to communicate. You are using the private IP to communicate. So this one very easy. You create the VPC peering. After that, you gonna set which is the originator VPC, which is the acceptor VPC. Because this peering is antara dua VPC. It's a point-to-point kind of point-to-point VPC kind of connection one. And the third step, you kena associate the route table. In this case, in this route table, app server punya route table, you kena specify 10.5.0.0 point to this VPC peering. Then same goes for this private subnet in the shared VPC route table. You kena configure, you want to reach 10.0.0/24 via this VPC peering. Okay? That is the core VPC peering. Tapi we'll talk more concept about this peering later on. Okay, thank you. Any question? Okay, kalau tak ada question, can we break for 10 minutes again?
Soalan.
Yes, apa soalan?
Okey, katakanlah kita ada servis untuk student dan untuk staff. So macam mana ya kita nak buat best practice untuk kita separatekan?
You nak buat services for student and services for the staff. Correct? Is it correct? So in this case, you create the user, normal user, your user for the student, you hanya boleh bagi dia contoh kan. You boleh, okay, what are the service? Contoh you nak student itu launch the EC2.
Bukan, maksud saya kita ada online service untuk student dan kita ada online service untuk staff. So kita tak naklah share dia punya network tu ataupun macam mana dia punya best practice adalah kita kena create security group yang berlainan ke apa.
So in this case you boleh create satu VPC just for the student, for the resources for the student. Betul tak? Correct tak?
Macam tu lah.
Then you will restrict the rules all this lah. Betul tak? Then for your staff punya kan, you will put them under different VPC.
So daripada VPC tu kita dah pecah dah. Satu untuk student dan satu untuk staff. Macam tu?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Good question. Thanks.
Right.
So, yes.
Apa ni untuk additional VPC tu, kita kena charge extra je ke? Ataupun based on EC2?
VPC, like net, okay, that depends on the component. Contoh, like net gateway, they can charge you. Okay, kalau you run the load balancer dalam VPC, load balancer they will charge you. So, tapi kalau you just create a VPC, there's no charge, faham? So it depends on the component. Like Elastic IP, you pakai, they will not charge you. Kalau Elastic IP you tak pakai, you just allocate, they akan charge you. So depend on the component. What component you enable in the VPC?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good question. Okay, so let's have a break 10 minutes. Okay, can. Please come back at what? 10 minutes cukup atau 5 minutes? 10 minutes. 5 minutes atau 10 minutes?
10.
10 就快啦。Okay, thank you See you later.
Dah tu tak. Saya lihat lah, pukul 2 ada kelas. Tidur je. Ajak adik tidur.